Choices, chances, dreams and goals. Many mixed emotions in my heart and soul. For some I made a plan and did the best I can. If God wills, things can happen. After all, I'm just a man. Choices, chances, dreams and goals. Many mixed emotions in my heart and soul. For some I made a plan and did the best I can. If God wills, things can happen. After all, I'm just a man.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome, dear viewers, to another episode of Life Choices, your very new program. Well, actually, not so new anymore, on Huda TV. Inshallah, we are continuing our series of self-development, and today's topic, we're going to be talking about time management. So time management, it's a set of skills and principles that we use to manage our time more efficiently. Brother Karim, sum us up time management.
Actually, time management is a very well-known subject. That's why we used to focus on the meaning of time to everyone today in this episode. However, people must understand that nothing called time management. This is the beginning of everything.
There's nothing called time management.
Yeah, nothing called...
You're telling us now. Our episode's based on time management.
This is the trick where I told you do time management. Yeah, nothing called time management because let's think about it. How you can manage the time? Can you get more than 24 hours?
No, we'll have
you cannot,
24 hours.
right, guys? You cannot get more than 24 hours. And at the same time...
In a day, at least.
Yeah, in the day.
It's more than 24 hours in the week.
Yeah. Can you get the clock backwards?
No, you can't turn
You
clock.
cannot. Can you make it forward?
No.
No, so you cannot manage the time.
I think time management means, controlling, not controlling, but like organizing our day, our schedule, planning, putting in a schedule, a routine. And managing our daily schedule in that sense, not really managing time.
That's what it means to me, is managing your activities, within the time, you know. It doesn't, to me, it doesn't mean managing the time, because you can't control time.
Yeah.
Setting your priorities, your goals, and everything. And
we can say that you are managing yourself.
Exactly, yeah.
So it's
managing
a self-management according to the time. It's the only difference that you're managing yourself on a specific scale,
So
which is time scale.
We're getting technical now.
Yeah. A specific scale, which is time scale.
Sounds really nice, though.
Yeah, and why I focus on this, because people, when you are talking about time management, the first thing that they always say, how you want to manage the time? Yeah, guys, it's only named like this, but it is not. You are not managing the time, you are managing yourself. So, you need to understand that it's all, again, about you. Because if it was about time, we would not have it in this program, because this is for personal development.
Right, let's move on. Okay, we all agree that time, it's not time management, it's self-management.
Yeah, the surprise.
All right, so now we know that.
The surprise, yes.
So now we know it's about managing ourselves.
So, yeah, you are managing yourself. And that's why you have to see what is your problem to manage yourself inside time. Managing yourself inside time is one of the biggest problems, especially on the business scale. Most of the people are complaining out of time. You want me to do all these tasks? I cannot. Why? Because no time. I only have 8 hours. And it is the biggest issue that every employee is complaining from his manager in. Although in-house, I think we were all kids and we passed through this with our moms. Do this and do that and do this and do that. I don't have all that time to do all of this. But when you look deeply, you will find that we always have time to play when we were kids. And now we always have time to hang out. We always have time. So, sometimes you have time and sometimes not. So, it's all about you. So, it's a matter of focusing on yourself and having some skills and some tools to be able to get the best out of the moment.
Okay.
It's all about that. So, all what you want to work on in the beginning is your thoughts about time. Do you still have in your subconscious have some complaints from time that, oh, I cannot do it, it needs too long, especially this comment, would you like to learn this? No, it needs a very long time. Okay, what's up? You can do it. Move on. No, I cannot. So whenever you feel that you need time to do something, you always start to feel lazy to do it. It's a concept. It's something that you attach it in your mind with a condition, right? As long as it takes long time, so it's boring, you know. I cannot do all of this. So you have to do the same what we talked about in self-discipline, because it's the same way. It's all personal development. You have to attach the concept of time to get the best out of it. So let's see how you spend your time. Because if you think that you don't need time management, or that time already managed, let's see how you spend your time.
People who are efficient when it comes to time management are much more productive. They get more done. They make more out of their lives with their skills. They're able to accomplish more of their dreams and their goals, versus people who just go with the flow, who have no target, no plan, no efficient time management. We find that people who are successful in this world, they have awesome time management skills, meaning they have a firm grip on each, not hour, but each minute and each second of their lives, which is always just ticking away. Our lives are just flying and zooming past without us knowing or not knowing. So it's critical for us to create a system in our lives where we do everything in a prescribed way. And in the Quran we find time management in the Quran. We find how, subhanallah, inna salata kanat ala al-mu'minina kitaban mawquta. Mawquta, prescribed timing. We have these fixed salawat throughout the day to structure our lives, to structure our days, to make us organized, efficient, disciplined human beings. The Prophet ﷺ was extremely efficient when it came to time management. If you look if you look at his life, 23 years of da'wah, prophetic call, this mission that he fulfilled with the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and his message still running strong till this day, is a result of his efficient time management.
But I want to ask you, brother, again, always people about the word system to our life. Everyone complains from system, Why have to do system? Especially why have to have this stupid list that every people in time management talks about it? That you have to put what you want to do and start to be like a robot who moves on paper.
It's not. I would disagree with that, and I would tell these individuals that it's not to create a list just for the sake of writing something on paper or having this system, quote unquote, to be like a robot. No. But it's rather to facilitate our lives so that we have an aim. We know which direction to go towards, instead of just waking up in the morning without a plan. Someone said that when you wake up from bed, I think you told me this, right? If somebody wakes you up from sleep and says, "What's your goal?" you should be able to say what your goal is. You should have a plan. You should have something in mind, right?
You should be firm in your heart.
You should know what you want to get done through this day. And studies show clearly that those people who have a schedule, who have a plan, who have a daily routine, who are managing their time, accomplish much more. This is you don't even need studies to tell you this. This is common sense.
Actually, there is some studies happened already on time management, but it was very painful. Because, for example, one of the studies that they did in US, it was a study about someone whose life was beneath between 60s. So they said, let's make a study how those group of people, not person, and it was on that age, 60s. Let's get a big group of that people to make some analysis on them. So they got some statistics. They found strange results. That we spend about 8 months in our life just studying really with focusing.
8 months?
8 months studying with focus. And about 2 years reading. Sure, I'm not talking about nowadays, because maybe this was old when I read about reading this, because now people don't read. We spent around 19 years sleeping. 19 years of our life.
Just sleeping.
But what's that, based on how many hours of sleep? Was it like 8 hours?
Yeah, on average.
So how about people
Imagine
that
if we are
sleep more?
60.
What about those who sleep 12 hours? How many years of their life did they wasted in sleep?
Imagine.
So we're living in this world only for 15 years, 10 years.
Yeah. All
You
your
add up
your productivity.
yeah,
this is out of sleeping.
right.
We have also bathroom. They said we go to the bathroom for 2 years. 2 years. We brush our teeth in 6 months.
Imagine just spending 6 months brushing your teeth.
La ilaha illallah.
Yeah, it was a strange statistic, and you will when
It's
you
true
look
though,
at
it's
it,
true, yeah.
you feel like, oh, what I do in my life? I do nothing. 2 months, around 4 or 6 months, robbing your shoes.
Mm.
This is your life. When you look to this statistic, this is my life.
Now we should ask this, we should present this to those who say that we don't need to manage our time.
Yeah.
If we don't manage our time, then all of this extra time that we could have been using for good will just fly past.
Yeah, it's
Just
like
go.
an extra 2 hours of sleep. You know, we've lost maybe a couple of years of productivity in our life. You know, so
So what if I said, you know, I'm not going to manage my time, Allah's going to manage my time for me? What would your advice be?
It's like saying, I'm not going to go to work, Allah's going to provide for me.
yeah.
He's going to feed me, He's going to clothe me. He's going to clothe me, I'm sorry.
I'm not going to go search for the job. You know, I'm just going to sit on the couch and wait till Allah gives me a job.
Right.
You know, it's the whole thing of tie the camel.
This is the sunnah of creation, of life, the system, how this world works. We have to sow the seed, and then we have to hope for the results. We have to
For
do
the
our
tree to
part.
grow.
Actually,
Yeah.
I see also the most opinion when I ask people, especially in trainings or that stuff, why you don't manage your time? They always say that it is out of my hands. Do you think so?
No.
It's always, you know, I always have orders from my manager, my colleagues, whatever, in business, in my family, from my wife as well. She always orders something. Yani that stuff is the main stuff. So, how I can manage?
Well, I think like some things are out of your hands, but if you have a firm outcome of what you want, then, you know, be loose on how you get there. And this is the thing that, you know, I don't have control over. But if I have a goal and that's what I know I want to do, then I'm going to manage my time to get there.
Actually, we have to ask ourselves, is that the real problem? Really, you don't control it? If we looked for your day, your personal day, and we put it on a graph, we are going to see that you are not controlling your life.
You definitely are.
Look, when I tried to do so, I got a graph, and I did this myself. I got a graph and I told some people, draw your productivity with the graph. Okay, so I put a line, and people started to, you know, here I'm sleeping, so it is low, the line will be low. Here I'm productive, the line will be high. I found that people afraid, when I pass through people are afraid to raise it up. You know, they feel like they started to realize, what did I do in my day? I do nothing. It's except in work. Maybe some people work at work for a while, and when they calculated for how long the Arabian person, especially Arabia, I don't know why they did this study, it's very shameful. Yeah, that he works about 5 minutes in his day.
Yeah.
5 minutes.
That's so sad. That's so sad. Whereas our previous predecessors, they were known for their hard work and their labor, resulting in the golden age, resulting in so much advancement and so much development. And unfortunately today, we are the heirs of those noble communities and predecessors that came before us. But look at our condition now. You know, we're huge in number, we're huge in resources, yet we cannot manage to give the world a good model to follow.
Because unfortunately, you know, a lot of Muslims have left the Sunnah, you know, have left that behind. So of course, when you leave the Sunnah and you leave the teachings of the Quran, well, you're going to fail.
Sure.
There's no doubt about that. You know,
Definitely.
because success only comes through Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and following the Sunnah of the Prophet. Sallallahu
Lack
alayhi
of
wa sallam.
planning on our end, not being focused, not having strong vision, not managing our lives and our time. This is all a result of our failures. My personal experience, when I manage my time efficiently, I see beautiful results, alhamdulillah. I see so much barakah in my efforts. I feel good before I go to sleep. I look back, and think about what I did throughout the day, and I feel, alhamdulillah, at least I accomplished something. I feel accomplished. I feel good. I feel like this day actually was worth living. Was actually something. And if I fell short, I ask Allah to forgive me and help me overcome myself the next day and help me, rejuvenate.
Inshallah. I was gonna say that it comes back to like the psychology study that I was talking about earlier, that we are the happiest when we're struggling for something good. So it goes along with what you're saying, that when we're using our time to do something good, the reward is undeniable and really doesn't matter what other people think.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, we will find that people still losing their time because they don't have the value. That's the main point now that we can talk about, that they don't have a value linked to that time. So it's all about how I will get rid. For how many you hear this comment?
What is it?
How I'm going to get rid of the time.
Get rid of the time.
Get rid. How I will burn my time on. I hear this comment.
Or like killing time.
Yes.
Killing time.
Yeah, true. That's exactly what
they have empty time in their schedule, so they want to kill it by
let's kill time by watching a movie,
surfing the web, doing whatever, right? Just going out, hanging out, doing something.
Calling you over the phone. Yeah, I have nothing to do. What?
That's not an attitude for a Muslim to have.
No, never.
Let's kill time, because as Muslims we know that we should know that time is very, very important.
SubhanAllah, in the Quran there is a chapter, there is a surah about time, Surah Al-Asr. Such a small and concise surah, yet filled with so much power and vigor. To the point where Imam Shafi'i, rahimahullah, he said that the essence of the Quran is in this surah, and if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not reveal the entire Quran and just revealed this short and powerful surah, it is sufficient for the guidance of the believer. So we learn from this, subhanAllah, the importance of time, and that we as human beings either can make good use of our time, or if we do not use our time wisely, then it will be against a means to take us to Jahannam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us.
Yes, subhanAllah. And one of the common things I find in our self-discipline episodes is that a lot of the topics we talk about, we find it mentioned in the Quran or in the Sunnah. Inshallah, we'll be back with more right after this short break.
In a game of golf, both the caddy and the golfer have the same goal: to get the ball into the hole. Interest-free banking is similar. With a clear view of the fairway, a predefined agreement without shifting targets, things should end up where you want them. Your deposits are safe, and your funds are ethically managed with a transparent and equitable approach to sharing risk and reward. No interest burden means more time to relax without the worry of nasty surprises. Rest assured, our interest is mutual. Jazz Bank, Nigeria's first full-fledged non-interest bank.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Welcome back to Life Choices. Just before the break, we were speaking about, Brother Zakir was speaking about Surah Al-Asr, and how time is so important that it's mentioned in the Quran.
This beautiful surah, incredible surah with 3 ayat, summarizes the life of human beings. If we want to be among those who are successful, this surah, subhanAllah, highlights 4 important qualities which people of paradise are shown to have in this world. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions them very nicely. وَالْعَصْرِ إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خُسْرٍ. Verily by time, human beings are at loss. Every human being is at loss. إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. Except, now Allah gives the 4 qualities of people who aren't at loss.
So
who are they?
Just before we go on, I mean, Wal-Asr, isn't that a qasam? Isn't that an oath?
This
Allah's
is an
making?
oath by Allah subhanahu wa
So
ta'ala.
it shows
As
how
we find,
important
exactly,
time
as
is.
we find throughout the Quran, we find many chapters that start with oath such as this. And again, to show the importance of time, the value that it has and it possesses. So إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا, those who believe, وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ, and not only believe but do righteous actions to prove that they are really believing. وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ, who enjoin people to the truth, who invite people to the truth. وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ, and who enjoin patience and perseverance upon the truth. So these four qualities really show if a human being is at loss or not. For us as Muslims, very, very important to make every minute count, as this episode is titled, to make every minute count.
But when we can see here that in the Quran...
Before you go on, is that why Asr is the most important prayer of the day?
I don't know.
Because that surah is like so important?
Asr
because
is
there is hadith for that, yeah?
I don't know, yeah, I heard the hadith that Asr is the most important prayer.
Some scholars say that this surah, Wal Asr, is also swearing by the prayer also. So there are different interpretations, but the main lesson we can take is that time is important. Time is the creation of Allah, and we have to make.
Well, I heard on that. If I think it's a hadith, if you miss Asr prayer, all your deeds are gone. We have a brother calling us up from Canada.
Okay.
Assalamu alaikum, brother.
Wa alaikum assalam.
How are you?
Alhamdulillah, and you?
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Akhi, we're talking about time management. What can you share with us, inshallah?
Yeah, actually, first of all, I want to definitely agree with the brother, because when I think about time management and self-development, I definitely think about Surah Al-Asr, and it's a very important surah for Muslims to remember. If you don't mind, I'll just add a few of my own reflections.
Go for it.
When I think about time management.
Yeah.
I know, just from my mentors and some of the du'as and shayukh in Canada, in the akhirah, we will not get time back, obviously. So when an hour passes by or a day passes by where we didn't get a chance to remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or say subhanallah, or call people to Islam, it may be certainly maybe a form of regret. So it's just a reminder for myself and others as well. And I want to also offer, if I can, just a practical tip about time management, that has certainly benefited me from one of my mentors. He talked about praying Salat al-Fajr in the masjid, and I find that it's anybody who prays Salat al-Fajr regularly, or alhamdulillah has come to develop that positive habit, will know what I'm talking about. You'll find many blessings in your day. And obviously, time management is very much related to discipline. So my practical tip for everyone out there is that the night before, try to rest properly, and know that just a small change in your schedule can actually make a big difference. So if you have an opportunity to, for example, drink a caffeinated drink right before bedtime, or a fizzy drink, and then you realize you're staying up till 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning, and then you can't wake up for Fajr. That small difference, that small decision that you made, ends up making a drastic change in your schedule. So, like I said, I think to understand time management, we also need to understand discipline.
Yeah,
actually, brother, I want to ask you also, is the dynamic life took you there or not yet, and how you deal with that?
I'm sorry?
The dynamic life took you there or not yet, and how you deal with that as a Muslim in your prayers and that stuff?
The what life? I'm
dynamic
so sorry.
life. Dynamic life. This
dynamic life.
Yeah.
Dynamic life. You mean how? I think you mean are you talking about drastic changes in schedule and things like that?
Yeah.
I mean, just being a student myself now, alhamdulillah, you're always going to have challenges, and this is just part of the test of life.
Yeah.
But just exactly like the brother said, I mean, understanding some of the principles, Islamic principles, in regards to time management, reflecting upon the seerah of the Prophet ﷺ and how Rasul ﷺ took care of time himself. I mean, it's just, I really think there's so many lessons in the seerah and the Quran that we still need to learn from.
Okay, I want just one more question.
Sure.
If I want you to tell me the most problem that you face in your time management, can you name it?
SubhanAllah, yeah, I'm definitely not perfect right now.
Yeah, good.
But
great.
and I'm still it's something we all struggle with.
Uh-huh.
But I would say probably getting the most, making the most effective use out of my time. So, for example, when I sit down to study, I want to try to get the maximum, I don't know how you'd say it, maximum use out of my time. So sometimes 1 or 2 hours can just go past, and I'm kind of, I don't feel like I wasn't as efficient with my time as I could have been.
Yeah, mashallah.
Yeah. Barakallah feek, brother. Thank you so much for sharing your tips. Jazakallah khair for calling in. Assalamu alaikum.
Beautiful point mentioned by the brother about making good use of our time and people in the hereafter, the ones who are in hell and even the ones who are in heaven, they're going to have regrets. Obviously, the ones in hell, it's clear what the regret will be. They will wish to go back even for 1 day. Correct? They will be asking Allah, just send me back for a sa'ah.
Yeah, so they are regretting time.
Just for an hour. So it shows how they realize at that time, but it's too late. They realize still that time is so critical.
And as the brother mentioned, subhanAllah, a very good point. How many times is like an hour go past that we didn't make any dhikr, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Simple as saying, subhanallah, subhana rabbi, la la, Allahu Akbar.
Makes me think of a funny quote, like, if you have to eat a frog, don't stare at it for an hour. You know?
Yeah, it's gonna jump away.
Because it's like not appealing. Maybe sometimes you have to study or something. Don't think about it for an hour. Just start. You know?
Well, I mean, the French do eat frog legs, so they're not gonna stay for an hour. They're gonna eat it straight away.
Yeah.
The people of paradise, they will have only one regret. They will enjoy the blessings of Allah and everything in paradise, no doubt. But they will have one regret. What is this regret? Man, I could have done dhikr at that time in my life, but I wasted it. I was in the bus and I was just staring and wandering. I could have been reading the Quran. I could have been saying La ilaha illallah, and it would have given me more blessings in Jannah.
I mean, how easy is it to say, subhanallah, alhamdulillah, La ilaha illallah, Allahu
Akbar? It's extremely easy.
Just making, small dhikr like that, very light on the tongue.
The Prophet ﷺ beautifully said, كَلِمَتَانِ خَفِيفَتَانِ عَلَى اللِّسَانِ, that there are two words which are very light on the tongue. ثَقِيلَتَانِ فِي الْمِيزَانِ. On the scale of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they are very, very heavy. What are they? Subhanallah wa bihamdi, Subhanallah al-azim, or kama qala alayhi salatu wasalam. As the Prophet said, these two words are Subhanallah wa bihamdi, Subhanallah al-azim. Glory be to you, Allah, and all praise to you. Glory be to you, Allah. You are the supreme. You are the greatest.
You made me remember what also, I don't know the fish memory came again or not, but about Hassan al-Basri when he said that he imagined that the day is talking to us, and he said that every day is talking to us saying, I'm a new day and I'm witnessing what you are doing. So if you lost me, I will not come back till the afterlife. So whatever day you miss, that's here we can say what you have just said about the quote of today. Minutes count. Really, if you lost this day, you will never have another day. If today is 28 or 20 of whatever month, we cannot say that this day will come back again. It's only one day in 2013.
That's it. Once time passes you, that's it. You can't get it back. Inshallah, we're going to have a look at this very interesting video clip, and we'll be right back.
ومن الليل فتهجد به نافلة لك عسى أن يبعثك ربك مقاما محمودا الله أكبر الله أكبر ألف لام ميم ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين الذين يؤمنون بالغيب ويقيمون الصلاة ومما رزقناهم ينفقون والذين يؤمنون بما أنزل إليك وما أنزل من قبلك وبالآخرة هم يوقنون أولئك على هدى من ربهم وأولئك هم المفلحون الله أكبر الله أكبر والذين هم على صلاتهم يحافظون أولئك في جنات مكرمون الله أكبر الله أكبر حافظوا على الصلوات والصلاة الوسطى وقوموا لله قانتين الله أكبر الله أكبر قد أفلح المؤمنون الذين هم في صلاتهم خاشعون الله أكبر الله أكبر في بيوت أذن الله أن ترفع ويذكر فيها اسمه يسبح له فيها بالغدو والآصال رجال لا تلهيهم تجارة ولا بيع عن ذكر الله وإقام الصلاة وإيتاء الزكاة يخافون يوما تتقلب فيه القلوب والأبصار ليجزيهم الله أحسن ما عملوا ويزيدهم من فضله والله يرزق من يشاء بغير حساب
Brother Kareem, what are your thoughts on that video we just watched?
Actually, it was the same that we used to say about the template. All what we need are the easiest way to work on our life is to have a template to compare your life to it. Is have something that manage or help you to manage your life. It's praying. It's the most easiest way to manage your daily life because it has a definite timing, and this timing is not definite by point. It's a range that gave by God to you. So you can put your life between these ages or between these periods of time, and it will be much easier for you.
So you're saying schedule your time, you could like schedule your time between around the salawat?
Yeah, it will be the most easy thing, it's your template. And we can see that guy has a very balanced life. He eats and he went to work, and he goes to work and he has enough sleep. He's doing everything. But at the same time,
he's maintaining his prayers.
He's maintaining, exactly.
I always tell people, if they ask me for advice, how can they manage their time and how can they be more efficient and so on and so forth, I always tell them that try to establish a schedule revolving around the 5 daily salawat. Don't revolve the salawat around your schedule.
Yes.
Because the salawat is God's schedule. So therefore you are required as his slave, as a human being, as a Muslim living in this world, to revolve yourself around him. And if you do that, you will see more barakah, more blessings in your life. You will see more aid and support coming to you from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because you're obeying him.
Yeah, subhanAllah. So scheduling your time around the salawat, that's very, mashallah, very good advice. Inshallah, we'll be back with more right after this break. Don't go anywhere. Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to Life Choices. Before the break, we were speaking about how to organize your time around the salawat and not organize the 5 daily prayers around your time. Brother Adam, what are things you do to manage your time?
I think an important saying that I'm thinking of right now is that time management doesn't make you successful. Or it doesn't mean that you're successful, but being successful means that you have good time management. So, like Zakir was saying, that if we plan our day and, say after, Fajr I'm going to read a book, and after Dhuhr I'm going to do this assignment for school, and after Asr I'm going to, go visit my family. And I think if you plan like that, then you'll find that really, subhanAllah, God has provided the perfect outlet for us to have our spiritual breaks in between our worldly life.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think I heard a sheikh saying once in a khutbah, I mean, subhanAllah, the time between Maghrib and Isha, it's like a very common time for us to lose, because it's such a short period, like 1 hour.
Yeah.
And I think the sheikh was, if I can remember clearly, he was recommending to utilize that time, for example, to read Qur'an. A short time, 1 hour, and dedicating that time every day, having a routine. A consistent routine, because you got to be consistent with everything.
Sure.
And because it's such an important, it's a small time frame, but it's every day.
Yeah.
I
think also to be more organized, we have to put our hands on, or the way of treating this problem, that losing your time, we have to start with barriers. So I think that one of the most barriers I have ever seen with people is over-promising. Over-promising. People always get themselves involved more in things that they cannot do.
Right.
Why I remember this point? Because when you were talking about Quran, I remembered one of my friends who started to over-promising himself and people around him that he will put a schedule to himself. But this schedule was, when I took a look on it, I felt like he is destroying his life.
It's too much.
Yeah, it's too much.
He's killing himself. Yeah.
Especially that he is doing this short time ago, so it is not in his daily life. So
what's the hadith? The best actions are the ones that are done.
Khairul amal.
Yes, the best. Which is a few, but it lasts forever.
The most beloved actions to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are the ones that are consistent, even if they are small in quantity.
Okay, yeah.
So a lot of times we mentioned this before as well, that we think that quantity-wise, this is what we look for, accomplishing more and more, but not keeping it steady. But the teachings in our religion is that no, don't worry about the number, worry about the quality. Worry about the quality and worry about the consistency of that action, which is at the end of the day more beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Yeah, and they said so before modern science saying it, long time ago, 1,400 years ago, they said so. And now modern science in psychology, they say it's all about when you manage yourself, you have to focus on your capabilities and what you want.
Right.
You have to put this balance in front of your eyes. There are things that you need to achieve, but you have a capability that must cope with these achievements.
Right.
So if you are not capable to get these achievements, so you have to work on your capabilities, not on improving the capabilities, not on improving the targets. Not to put, it's not a matter of putting 20 target and get one, because you will get depressed if you did so.
Yeah.
No, put
Failure.
2 and get 2. Put 4 and get 4.
Right.
Not put 20 and get nothing.
Right.
It will be a disaster for you. So don't overpromise people, don't overpromise yourself
Right.
that I will do this. Especially, I know that we always do this in studying, right? You know, when we were in the faculty or in school, we always put the study start, and we always put this schedule. I will study math for 1 hour. After that, directly I will study science. After that,
Studies show that
and you sleep the best sleep in this moment.
studies show that people who study or work in short intervals with slight breaks in between them are much more successful. They're able to complete their assignments. They're able to achieve their goals quicker and more efficiently because they are working in a way where their brain can handle it.
This is
their
a pure time management approach called salami approach.
Salami approach.
Salami approach. It means when you have salami, you cut it into small pieces.
Salami, slices.
Yeah. So you have a mountain, just get it into small rocks. You will move it. You have a very big piece of food, just cut it small and you will get it.
Exactly.
Again, it's time. Don't look for time for the 24 hours. No, just look for the next hour.
Hopefully it's beef salami.
Beef, okay.
Halal beef salami, depending where you're from.
Food is important all the time. In time management is the most important part, you know. The second thing also, not only over-promising. The thing that Zakir told us the last time, or maybe before it, is about that some people cannot say no. No, it's very difficult. It can destroy your life if you cannot say no.
So it's not overloading your schedule with promises you make to people, you know. So I guess don't promise your boss that you can do, you know, A, B, C, D, E when you can't, you know. And this, you know, like
because then you disappoint somebody if you can't meet their expectation, and you give your word, and then you're not able to complete this.
And it's going to cause you stress.
Yeah,
it's going to stuff up your schedule.
Right.
True.
So
you won't be able to accomplish your other assignments that are of top priority and necessity. So you're going to be like in deep trouble.
Just because you were afraid to say no, you know?
Right, and it's totally fine to say no. It's absolutely okay to say no, because you're able to complete all your other yeses.
Putting first things first.
And
then if you have time,
you take on a lot of responsibilities, a lot of tasks, and instead of doing, you know, say you only had 3 tasks, instead of doing 3 efficiently, you took on 6, and you failed miserably at all of them.
Right. But some people feel that they hurt each other when they say no. And this is a misunderstanding, I think.
I mean, because we always want to please our superiors, you know. We want our bosses to be happy with us. But we don't actually realize by doing that and overloading ourselves, we might actually make them more upset.
Yeah.
Because once they see that we didn't succeed at our tasks.
Why you didn't say from the beginning that you don't know? I remember this.
This goes back to really knowing what we want and knowing how to achieve our goals, and not how do you say it? Not confusing ourselves, or not distracting ourselves by just quantity, but looking at the quality. If you look at the Sahaba, subhanAllah, the way they would read the Quran and understand the Quran is very different from how we read the Quran and how we engage with the Quran. When Ramadan comes, we just focus on trying to do khatam really quick. We want to finish reading the whole Quran from cover to cover, where we don't get to really benefit from the teachings and morals and lessons of the Quran. Whereas the Sahaba, they would take years, for example, on Surah Al-Baqarah. Why? They would read an ayah, they would understand, they would contemplate, and they would implement it into their lives, and then they would move on to the following verse. And then they would complete the surah and eventually move to the following surah. It would take them years just to read Surah Baqarah. Why? Because they would implement it and live the Quran as if the Quran is walking.
It's the whole quantity versus quality thing, you know what I mean? We're like during Ramadan, we're all focused on the quantity. Let's get 2, 3.
The Ummah never won or never was victorious due to its numbers. We never won. We never succeeded in history because of our numbers.
Especially in Hunayn. It was
Hunayn,
a very big proof.
in Badr, in all of these battles and these struggles and these challenges.
I mean in Hunayn especially because we were a lot.
Allah mentioned it in the Quran.
Subhanallah.
Yeah, وَيَوْمَ حُنَيْنٍ إِذْ أَعْجَبَتْكُمْ كَثْرَتُكُمْ.
Naam.
Yeah,
We were more, but
yeah.
subhanallah, it's not about the numbers, but rather it's about the heart and the quality of the believer.
And really, the war itself, we didn't want it, except when we came back to the heart, to the belief that we will win.
Well, the Nasr comes from Allah.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Not from our numbers.
Exactly.
You
And
know,
I think you were trying to say the ayah in the Quran where a believer, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, if a believer is like a true believer, is like 10 of the disbelievers, and 10 is like 100.
Yeah.
So subhanallah, it's really about the quality, and this is something which we can apply into our daily lives. It's not about how much we can do, it's about how well we can do what we do.
Also, I think that we have another waster that I get it out from your words also, is lacking of information. You know, if I don't know all of these info, maybe I misunderstand time management. I misunderstand how to go through it. Or some people think that it's about the quantity, for example. Some people see that, reading 100 verse is better than reading one verse, while it's about understanding, not about just reading words and getting out letters. So, lacking of information about time would waste a lot of time. And on the other hand, lacking a lot of information about what you are doing. You have to focus what you know. Accordingly, you can manage your time.
Yeah, but unfortunately, that's the world we live in now. Everything's based on quantity. You know, companies, they want to make as much as they can of whatever product it is, just to make a quick few dollars, instead of focusing on a quality product. You know what I mean? So unfortunately, that's the world we're surrounded in now. So it's not, surprising that when it comes to time management, we do the same thing.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's how the case is. But there are, for example, great examples of companies today in the world who are amazing in their quality, and as a result, they have received wide acceptance and huge, rates in customers. For example, Apple. The products of Apple is just, come on.
But they're using a system of planned obsolescence, which is really wrong in my opinion.
But because of their efficiency and their quality,
because no one else knows what they know.
You know what I mean?
Not that we're promoting Apple or anything like that.
Just to show an example, like the quality, really, it's about the quality. And
I was more referring to chicken farmers and stuff like that. Nowadays they inject the chickens with steroids to make them fat very quicker. Obviously, the quality of the chicken is going to be different to one that's grown naturally.
That's a good point. Like sometimes good things take time.
Yeah, good things definitely. Good things do take time.
So, again, we will have over-promising. Don't over-promise anybody. Don't over-promise yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't learn to say no. This is the most barrier that you have to break. Say no and don't feel hurted for others. Oh, I said no to him. Maybe he will feel sad. Let him feel sad if he is bothering you and he pokes his nose in your life. Actually, The third thing, which is what we were saying, the third point?
Quantity versus quality?
Yeah, quantity. So it's all about the quality. Focus about how good you will do the job, because this is your purpose in life as a Muslim. The fourth thing, which is we used to talk about also, is procrastination, which is one of the most barriers of time management, because always you say tomorrow I will do it, after a while, maybe later, and you did nothing actually, because you don't have time management.
Brother, subhanAllah, it's that time again, speaking about time. We're out of time for this week's episode. Brothers, Jazakallah khair for your input today. And Jazakallah khair to you who are watching our episode. That's it for today's, and until next week, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Chances, dreams and goals, many mixed emotions in my heart and soul. For some I made a plan and did the best I can. If God wills, things can happen. After all, I'm just a man. Choices, chances, dreams and goals, many mixed emotions in my heart and soul. For some I made a plan and did the best I can. If God wills, things can happen. After all, I'm just a man.